So the piece we're going to get today is National Emblem. I have some stuff written here actually. It was proposed in 1902 and published in 1906. It's one of the standards of the U.S. March repertoire, frequently used in the trio section in this piece for ceremonies for official party members. Considered one of the three most effective marches, and is used pretty frequently. So you might recognize it.
clarinetist. So he's learning a lot of appreciation for the brass instruments and how they function. And he's also a composer. That's actually his like full-time gig. Yeah. And I find that a lot of the time, if you're a woodwind player, it's hard to write for brass instruments. If you're a brass player, it's hard to write for woodwinds. I don't know, maybe you feel that way. Maybe you're like, oh, I like writing for trumpet all the time. Yeah, cool. So yeah, Dylan, do you know the horn a little better? Oh yeah, he says. Oh yeah. And next semester we're gonna have, oh man, I think we have 8 students joining us who are all gonna be playing their secondary instruments. We're gonna have a violinist who's gonna be playing percussion. We're gonna have a percussionist who's gonna be playing flute or oboe. We haven't figured that out yet. We're gonna have all sorts of students joining us, and they're all gonna get teaching experience, and they're all gonna get to mentor each of these players one-on-one on their instruments. And I think that's a really fun way to get to know people in the community and for them to get their teaching hours in. The next piece we're going to play is called America the Beautiful. You're probably familiar with it. So we always do a march, and we always do like a lyrical piece to work on our slow and expressive playing. So that's what we're going to do next. And we're going to start at measure 2. Yes. Right? Right. Maybe ask Jim what a bassoon is if you're not familiar with that, because he is super familiar with it. You can ask Scott all about Louisiana, and he'll talk to you for days about his great days in the LSU bands. He loves that. You can ask Linda about the flute, really anything. And you can ask anyone about music. They love to talk about music. Francis Kelly also loves music. He actually wrote this piece called Joy, which is all about how happy his, I believe this is niece, gets when she listens to music. Is it his niece or his daughter?
Oh.
Yeah, so his daughter just really enjoys making music, and that's kind of what this is all about. Now, you should know that Frank Kelly is like a legit band composer. He's actually a composer, not just a band composer, but he's really prolific in the band medium, and so his music is also quite intricate, and it's designed to teach students like a lot of technique and a lot of counting things. So this is probably the most challenging piece we've done ever, right? In our 3 years of existence, I would say this is the hardest one we've done. Yeah, and so it's been really fun for us to try and see how high we can go in terms of technique and in terms of difficulty. I think next semester we'll probably keep it right around this mark. This is a good challenge spot for us. Yeah. Okay, so here's Joy by Frank Kelly. Here we go. take walks and all that kind of stuff. Also, they might be tired and, right. And then Randy, you got back into this because your grandchildren were getting back in the band? Or how did that story work? What was that?
I just saw it online.
Right.
Enrolled in it.
But you had someone in your family who played.
Oh, both my daughters played trumpet.
That's right, yeah, so we have a connection there. And then Jeff, we got back into this for tax, right?
Yeah, it's been 50 years since I picked up a horn.
Yeah, so 50 years, you can still do it. Scott, how did he get back in the band?
I played all my life,
Mm-hmm.
and after I retired and moved up here, I just didn't have any place to play. And I came over here to Washburn, and the people here are so nice that I just don't want to go anywhere.
Not so nice. Dylan, when you're retired, what do you do? No, I'm joking. Jim, what did you do before you were a full-time student player here at Washburn?
I took courses at Washburn, helped in, worked in churches, and taught English as a second language.
And how many languages do you know total? More than me. It's crazy.
French and German,
French and German fluently, right?
and I play with French and I play with Spanish and Greek.
Spanish, Greek.
I grew up with the Greeks.
You're from Latin too, right?
And Latin.
Yeah, so you want to study some classics, Jim's your guy. The bassoon is very fitting for us as one of the oldest instruments, right? All right, are we ready for up on the host stuff? Are we all set there?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. One, two, three. selected from the 4 tunes. We're just doing all 4 tunes. We weren't sure if we were going to make it, but we're definitely going to make it. So, all 4. All set? or maybe you lived a life and you go, man, I really wish I was a conductor in a past life. Anyone? Any takers? Yeah, come on up. Oh, I feel like I do know your name, but I'm really bad with names.
Lynn?
Lynn?
Yeah.
Lynn, come on up here. You've taken a music class, right? Were you a music major, minor? You were a major. Okay, yeah. Singer? Yeah, okay, that's why we don't know each other. You know, a four or anything? Yeah. You got it. You want to come to this first?
Absolutely.
Great, let's do it. Are you ready? Well, actually, I kind of goes into two. Can you do that with me?
Yes, I'll just, okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.